All right. Part two. Went and picked up my daughter, and so she's running around the house now. First day back from spring break, so she's full of all kinds of energy. So that's fun. But let's see, where was I? Well, the lighting shifted in this room. It's a little bit more cast, so let's try the light. I don't know if that helps or makes it worse. Let's see. Hey, kiddo. Oh, your hands are cold. You got your phone?
Yep.
All right. You want to go practice?
Yep.
Okay. Pick that up, please. Got it? Sorry, I'm mixing my blue, some water in with my blue, just to get the wash on her hair. You like that, do you, Cece?
Yeah.
Crap, that's a lot darker than I wanted. So one of the techniques I've tried is to do the watercolor first and then do the ink on top, which it makes the ink more vibrant. And when I do it this way, which is closer to my normal way of just inking pencils, it does diminish the blackness of the pencil of the ink a little bit because the pigment of the paint lays on top. But once the paper starts buckling, it is so much more difficult to ink on top of, and so it's just easier to work ink first and then paint for multiple reasons. One, because I'm lazy and I don't like to try and be that clean with my pencils. I say lazy. What I mean is it's more expedient, which is a huge part of it. Just when you're working like I do, you only have a little bit of time each day, multiplied by 22 pages is what I normally do. The book I'm going to be working on, I'm aiming for 58 pages. So that's a significant jump. Just workload wise, that is something to be aware of. So I guess that's close enough in tone. Still a little dark here. Just trying to push the pigment away from the outsides, or where the light's supposed to be hitting it. That's about as close as that'll get. Here, let me show you my palette. So let's see if you can see. I probably shouldn't have set that directly on there. Yeah, oh well. So this is my palette. Got it set up so I can have some spaces to mix in. I've got it also set up for these are my 5 main colors that I use for flesh tones. Purple, which I use a ton for all kinds of shadow. I got my 4 blues here. This is a little bit warmer, which is why it's over here than the cobalt, red, green, which is a little bit warmer than, or a little bit cooler than these greens. That's why it's with the blues instead. And then yellows and oranges and purpley red purple, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And then my warm and my cool white, gray, and black that I use to mix. I pretty much just use those to mix. Do you need something, kiddo? Just give me a kiss. Love you.
Love you too.
Let's see, what was I doing? Oh, mixing black and purple, right.
Dad, where's your normal purple?
Right here.
Spot?
I moved it.
Oh.
That way I can mix it a little bit more with stuff.
But what if you, need it by itself?
Then it will still work that way?
Those are your mixing parts.
Yeah, those are my mixing spots, but
You need it a lot to mix.
yeah, I mean I can just paint or pull the paint right off of the pile of purple there, the big spot of purple, and with the watercolors you can kind of get some of the paints mixed a little bit, and it doesn't really hurt the paints themselves. It just shows up pretty quickly on the paper. So, it's not that big of a deal. You're not in the shot. Are you trying to get attention?
Hi.
There. You got your attention. Goofy.
I'm a goofy girl.
Yeah, you are a goofy girl.
You still hear me?
Yep.
What?
Yep. I don't know how well, because I think you're behind the microphone rather than in front of it, but
Yeah, I'm a goofy girl.
for those of you trying to watch, she's back there dancing, so. All right. What are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Practicing dialing my dad's phone number.
All right. You got the phone in the kitchen?
Yeah.
We just moved into this house last summer, and it is actually my wife's grandparents' old house. They wanted to downsize, and some of the things that they left when they had moved out because they didn't need them anymore, apparently, is some old phones, like landline phones. And so, my wife and I only have cell phones, so the girls found these landline phones, and now they play with them all the time. No, I'm just sketching, kiddo. I'm making a video of sketching. This isn't a video of you playing, okay?
Where is the microphone anyways?
I don't know. It's on the phone somewhere. All right. You go play.
Watching
I know.
video.
All right, you can watch. Just don't be a distraction, okay? Let's see. I think I want to try a little regular brown. I've been using the Van Dyke brown, which is a darker, what I would call normal brown, is what they call Van Dyke brown. And this, what they have labeled as brown is very, I would call it almost like sepia. It's very red, very orange. And
Orange brown.
yeah, it's a very warm color, whereas the Van Dyke brown is more of a standard tertiary.
The Van Dyke is more like a brown.
Right?
than the
This one?
red brown. Yeah.
Yeah, That's what I thought. Crap.
What?
I don't know, this just colored everything the wrong way. I can't tell if it's extra paint in the brush or my water's just that dirty. Ah, the struggles.
At least you have that washcloth
Right?
to do that. Can I show them my pants?
No.
Aw.
Sweetheart, I'm just recording video. I'm not actually like broadcasting it or whatever.
Are you gonna put it on Facebook though?
I don't know. I haven't decided. This is just a test, more or less, to see how well the camera and the tripod work to do this sort of thing. Since I just got the tripod,
A few days ago.
yeah, and I haven't really taken the time to see how it works and see what position works well and zoom modes and stuff like that. So,
Is this your second video I've taken with it?
yeah, you saw the one I was making, or one I made earlier when I was looking at it again. So this is a little more of the Van Dyke brown, what I would call normal brown. And the regular brown definitely warms up the orange that I laid down earlier quite a bit. So it's
Did you have the orange with a little bit of like red and yellow?
what, did I mix myself?
Yeah. How
Mm,
did you like make that like color?
the brown?
No, the skin color.
This color or this color?
That color.
This is just this, and I put purple underneath for the shadows first,
Oh.
and then let that dry, and then I use the light orange and just
That's
put it,
orange?
yeah, it's called light orange, and then put that on very gently or very thin, and now I'm going in and kind of adding some of the darker spots.
Like more of the shadows that should go like on top of the purplish shadows.
More or less, yeah,
Like
to get that slightly more tanned look. Just add a little bit more depth and nuance to the skin tone.
okay.
Careful.
I'm looking.
Why did you go that way? Why didn't you go around?
If I can. Was I in the video if I went that way?
No, you wouldn't. The only thing that's showing up in my video is like my sketchbook. Not even the whole thing's there because it's zoomed way out, or not zoomed way in rather. It's just that close. Let's see. Soften that up on the chin just a little bit. So this brush seems to hold a pretty decent amount of water in it even when I wipe it off on my washcloth. I've got this over here, just ancient. I used it for cleaning my ink out of my brushes for ages. Now I just use it as a drop cloth, I guess. And I keep finding myself surprised by how much water is still in the brush when I go back and dab it on the paint, use it to siphon some of the pigment back off, or just move stuff around a little bit. And I guess that's a good thing, but it just takes a bit of getting used to, because that whole process is quite a bit different than all the years of inking experience that I have. So I'm kind of fighting against my own experience with it. Okay. I guess the hair is more or less dry. I also find myself not wanting to use a ton of water in my paint, and just use very little, and a fairly dry paint for the most part. Sometimes I get it washed out pretty good with the like in the hair here, but now I'm going back and using a thicker amount and adding in some texture.
Are you just like doing the darker spots or the lighter spots?
Of what, the hair?
Yeah.
So I guess the darker spots at the moment,
Okay.
and so sort of the medium, like darker than what I started out with,
Okay.
but not so dark that I can't add anything else on top of it. Because I'll probably, right now I'm using the sky blue, and I'll probably add a little bit more of the cobalt underneath that.
Which one's the cobalt again?
This one,
Okay.
the real bright blue.
The brighter one?
Mm-hmm.
I thought the sky blue is the lightest one you have.
It is sky, cobalt blue, midnight blue, ultramarine, which is also blue. It's almost purple. Like it's almost into the purple.
And then like, do you have like the like the like, do you have the
All right, you just tried to ask me the same question like 4 times and never got to the end of it, so why don't you ask once you think of it? Oh there, your markers are running off.
Do you know what my favorite color is? It's a type of blue.
Are you quizzing me or are you asking me?
I forget what the name of it is, so
Is it the light blue or is it the medium?
it's like, it's not one of these blues, because I know that because you've made it before.
I've made it before?
Yeah.
What, in Photoshop or paint?
The paint. The color blue.
Okay.
That I like. I just can't figure out what the name is.
I don't remember. Like, one of my favorites is royal blue. Was that?
It's not royal.
I don't know. Teal?
No.
I know Lena likes teal.
That's her favorite color?
I don't know if it's her favorite, but she likes it.
It's not teal.
What
It's like
about
the next lightest one before teal.
aqua?
Aqua blue.
Aquamarine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's almost that color. 'Cause that's green, but like a little bit more blue.
you
Like
have
this
any?
color, that's pretty close to aquamarine there that I mixed for ages ago. just purple to layer on top of this. It might be a little too... Yeah. It's pretty thin. That's too much. Come back, you. And then I think I'll do the black for the underpart. Purple and black. The trick is getting just enough contrast between the really dark paint that I want to use and the black lines, because I don't want to completely black things out. I want them to be still visible and still reproducible, because that's a big part of this, because I'm scanning it and doing small adjustment to it in Photoshop and then sending it off to the printer. So because my scanner kind of sucks. But
are you talking to me or talking to the video?
To the video.
Slash me.
Slash you. Yeah, you're in the room, so you can hear. You working on your tiger again?
My tiger picture, yep.
Yeah.
Can we show them it?
Not right now.
Well, sometime later in the video?
Maybe.
Turtle shells are green, right?
Yeah.
Slash black.
No, they're not really black. They can actually be quite a few different colors.
Like gray, really dark gray.
Well, they're usually like the base color is green, but they can also have like some reds, like lines, depending on the breed of the turtle.
Yeah.
The type of turtle.
I know some turtles that have like these red lines, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Are those ones snapping turtles?
I don't think so. I think those are just box turtles, or one of the more common type. I don't remember all the types anymore. Snapping turtles have really like rough shells, like with, they almost look like they're horns.
Oh, I've seen one of them in a show before, I think.
Like a nature show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does she have blue lips?
She just has all kinds of blue on her. So,
Favorite color?
yeah, makes her stand out. Blue lips, blue eyeshadow, blue eyes. It just makes her stand out a little bit, and it's just kind of fun.
Yeah, Dad.
Hmm.
Dad,
What?
he uses his finger a lot, so it gets messy.
Me?
Yeah.
You talking to my people?
Yep.
Are you gonna host this video now? And
I like the back stand of what you like don't say.
your what?
Back stand.
Back stand?
To tell them like what.
The back up?
Yeah, like the
Oh,
backup
yeah.
person to like tell them stuff that you do like with your fingers and stuff.
The
that part.
backup narrator.
Yeah.
You practicing to have your own YouTube?
Yep.
Yeah, she wants to be a YouTuber.
When I grow up. Yep.
I was just thinking about the difference in age and how you want to be a YouTuber, and that would have, I mean, YouTube didn't even exist when I was a kid. You're just making me feel old, darling. Making me feel old.
Oh my gosh. You kind of want to be a YouTuber now?
Me?
Yeah.
I am well, I wouldn't say I'm a big YouTuber, but I've got a channel, and I'm probably going to be using it more for this sort of stuff. Maybe that's where this will end up. I've told you that I don't know how many times that I had a channel.
I know how many times you told me you had a channel, but I didn't know you made a video on YouTube. Have you?
I've got a couple of them up now, and I'll probably be. I think I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to use it, but.
Dad, when I get home tonight, I'm gonna look up Brian L channel.
No.
Do you have a channel like on YouTube?
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to find it.
I'm just gonna look.
Those videos, the ones that you can find on there now, are pretty old, and they're not very. I don't know how good they are.
Yours.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I've got stuff up there. I haven't looked at it in years, so I don't know if there's stuff up there that's appropriate for you yet or not. If it's anything, it's me swearing, which is nothing new for you to hear, but you know how that goes. All right. I think.
That looks good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to call that done.
Yeah, Dad doesn't do the bodies that much anyways.
Well, yeah, but I'm mostly just these are sketches to test out the watercolors more than anything, because I'm still
learning,
still trying to get the handle on.
Still trying to get used to them.
Yeah, you know the drill.
Yeah.
I guess I've said this before, haven't I?
What is it?
That you're telling me what apparently I've already said before, so still trying to get the handle on the paints. Anyway, cheers. See ya.